All right, let's dive deep today. We're going to tackle love.
Ooh, love.
But like not just love in general. We're going to be looking at the most common questions that people have about love.
Okay, I like it practical.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're going to be focusing on an article called, it's called The 6 Most Asked Questions About Love with Heartfelt Answers.
Heartfelt answers.
Yeah, and it's from Spavelous Online Magazine.
Spavelous.
Yeah. So whether you're in a relationship looking for love or just, fascinated by love, this is for you.
Love is a very fascinating thing.
Absolutely. I'm going to be going through the article, and then, of course, our expert is here to give even more insights, connect everything together.
It's amazing, isn't it, how even with all the art and the songs and the poems and everything, we still have so many questions about love.
Right. It's true. Like, even after centuries and centuries, we're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So let's start with the most obvious question. What is love?
Right. Back to basics.
What is it? The article says it starts with liking someone and then grows deeper through time spent together, understanding and support.
Makes sense to me.
It also talks about the importance of these compassionate acts.
Yeah, like what?
Like holding hands, hugs, encouraging words, that kind of thing.
I mean, those things do feel good.
Oh, yeah. And there's actually research showing that physical touch, like hugging, releases oxytocin, which is a hormone that helps us bond and reduces stress.
Oh, wow. So science backs that up.
Yeah, so those little things, they actually do make a big difference.
That's cool.
Now, the article also brings up the spiritual side of love, quoting John 4:8. God is love.
Ooh, bringing in the Bible.
I thought that was interesting. Like how do different cultures and beliefs shape our understanding of love?
That's a good point. Like, if love is a divine characteristic, does that mean it's not just about romantic love?
Right.
Like, could it be about our connection to, I don't know, a higher power, our community,
Absolutely.
or even a cause that we're passionate about?
So we've talked about what love is.
The big question.
Yeah. But how do we know if we're actually in love?
Oh, yeah, that's the tricky one.
The article mentions those butterflies in your stomach, that feeling.
Oh, yeah, the butterflies.
But is that really a reliable sign?
Well, I mean, butterflies are fun, but I think the article is getting at something deeper here. It's about going beyond those initial feelings of attraction and infatuation.
Like not just the surface stuff.
Right, exactly. The article mentions this quote by Eric Fromm, a psychologist, and I love this quote. He says, "Immature love says, I love you because I need you. Mature love says, I need you because I love you."
Ooh.
Big difference. Right?
Yeah, that's really powerful. So it's about moving past that neediness and having a love that's based on genuine care and respect.
Yeah, seeing the other person as an individual, not just as someone to fulfill your needs.
I like that. The article also lists some other signs of being in love,
Okay, like what?
like feeling happy around that person, wanting a deeper connection, and actually prioritizing their well-being.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And those things actually align with psychological theories of attachment and intimacy.
Really?
Yeah. Like we seek out secure connections to feel safe, supported, and to grow.
So it's like a basic human need.
Absolutely. It's also interesting. The article quotes Song of Songs 2.16. My beloved is mine, and I am his.
Oh, I like that.
It's that sense of belonging, of fitting together.
Belonging, yeah. That's huge. Feeling seen, understood, accepted for who you are.
Totally. And did you know that a lack of belonging can actually contribute to loneliness and depression?
Really? Wow. That's sad.
Yeah, it's a big deal. So we've covered what love is and how to know if you're in it.
Two biggies.
Right. But now let's get practical. What makes a good relationship last?
Okay, yeah, let's get into that.
The article says it's more than just the honeymoon phase. It takes commitment to growing, both individually and as a couple.
So you got to keep putting in the work.
Yeah, you got to nurture it.
Makes sense.
And it highlights open communication, respect, trust, and shared values as super important.
Those are like relationship 101, aren't they?
Right, but they're important.
Yeah, for sure.
And actually, there's a ton of research that backs those up as being essential for long-term relationships.
Okay, so it's not just like feel-good advice.
Not at all. There's actually a passage in Ephesians 4.23 that talks about being humble, patient, and making every effort to maintain unity.
Interesting. Sounds like good advice for any relationship, not just romantic ones.
Right. It really emphasizes forgiveness and conflict resolution.
Yeah, because let's be real, disagreements are going to happen.
Oh, for sure.
It's how you handle them that matters.
Exactly. So it's not just about finding the right person. It's about putting in the effort, communicating, and being willing to grow together.
It's a journey.
Totally. A journey, not a destination.
And like any good journey, it has its ups and downs.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of ups, the article also talks about how to keep that spark alive.
Okay, now that's what I want to hear about.
Let's get to that next. The next question the article asks is, how can I be more romantic?
Ah, romance. It's a popular one, especially with Valentine's Day right around the corner.
For sure. And, I think people expect the article to just be all about flowers and chocolate and grand gestures, but it actually goes much deeper than that.
Deeper is always better.
Right. It even quotes philosopher and author Irving Singer, who said, romantic people value emotional intensity.
Interesting. So it's not about the stuff, it's about the feelings behind it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The article emphasizes really understanding your partner, their personality, their preferences. It's about those small, thoughtful gestures that show you really get them.
Okay, I like that. It's more personal, more meaningful.
It is. And the article actually connects this to a passage from Song of Songs.
Really? Which one?
It talks about how the delights of love are more intoxicating than wine and more fragrant than perfume.
Oh, wow. It uses such sensory language to evoke that deep connection.
It's beautiful, right? Speaking of creating those special moments, the article also has some unique Valentine's Day ideas.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What are they suggesting?
It's all about thinking beyond those typical gifts, like flowers and chocolates, and focusing on experiences instead.
Okay. Yeah, experiences are always a good idea.
Things like revisiting a meaningful place from your shared history, creating a handcrafted gift that reflects your partner's interests, or planning an adventurous date.
I love those ideas. It's so much more personal and memorable than just buying something generic.
Totally. And the article ties this to 1 Corinthians 13:380, which says, "And now these three remain, faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love."
It's a classic.
It's a reminder that true love goes beyond those superficial expressions. It's about nurturing that deep connection.
Yeah, that's a good reminder, especially around Valentine's Day when everything is so commercialized.
So true. But, not all relationships last.
Right, unfortunately.
And that can be really hard to deal with, especially around Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Heartbreak's tough, and seeing all those happy couples everywhere can make it even harder.
The article acknowledges that and offers some advice on dealing with breakups.
Okay, good. What does it say?
First, it says it's important to allow yourself time to grieve the relationship.
Yeah, don't try to rush the process.
Exactly. Trying to suppress those feelings will only make things worse.
Bottling things up never helps.
It also talks about seeking support from friends, family, or a therapist.
Oh, definitely. Having people to talk to is so important.
It makes a huge difference. And lastly, it emphasizes self-care.
Okay, yeah, that's crucial.
Like taking walks, reading, spending time with loved ones, doing things that bring you joy.
Little things that can help you feel a bit more normal.
Right. And the article connects this to Ecclesiastes, which says there is a time for everything, a time to weep and a time to laugh.
Ooh, I like that.
It reminds us that life has its ups and downs, its seasons, and that even in the midst of sadness, there will be moments of joy again.
It's a cycle.
It is. But beyond just coping with heartbreak, the article also delves into a deeper question.
Okay, what's that?
It asks, why do we seek love in the first place?
Good question. Why do we seek love? That is a good question. It seems so simple, but when you really think about it, it's not.
Yeah, I know. The article talks about how throughout history and across all these different cultures, humans have always wanted love and connection.
Yeah, it's everywhere, isn't it?
Like it's a recurring theme in art, literature, music, even in the way our societies are structured.
It's true. And even now, with all the technology and social media, everyone still craves real in-person connection.
Right. It makes you wonder if that need for love is like built into us somehow.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, is it biological,
Yeah.
social, maybe both?
Right. And the article talks about how much effort we put into love, like figuring out what intimacy is, keeping it going, trying new things to keep it fresh, and picking up the pieces when it ends.
Wow. When you put it that way, it's a lot, isn't it?
It really shows just how much we value it.
We don't just sit back and wait for love to happen, do we?
Nope. We chase it, we fight for it, we literally cry over it.
It's a powerful thing.
It is, and it can be a huge motivator too. The article ends with this quote by Cheryl Strayed. We all want to experience that which motivates us most. Love.
I mean, that's true. Love drives us to do so much.
Like, think about all the risks we take, the sacrifices we make, the joy we feel, even the pain.
Yeah, you're right. It's like love fuels our creativity, our compassion.
Even our will to live, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So, with all these questions and answers and deep thoughts about love, where do we go from here?
Yeah, what does this all mean for us as we try to figure out love in our own lives?
Well, the article encourages us to, trust that love can make our lives better, but also to approach it with more awareness and intention.
So not just letting it happen randomly.
Right. Being more mindful. Like, what do we really want? What makes us feel loved?
Yeah. And then actually using that knowledge to create better relationships.
Exactly. Being honest with ourselves and with our partners.
I like that. It puts the focus on what works for each of us individually.
Yeah. Because love is not one size fits all.
So true. And with that, we'd like to leave you with one final thought. What's one small, kind thing you can do today to strengthen a relationship or just spread a little more love in the world?
Doesn't have to be huge, like sending a nice text, telling someone you appreciate them, maybe just smiling at a stranger.
It's all about connection, right?
Yeah, remembering that we're all in this together.
And trying to make the world a little bit better, a little bit kinder, a little bit more loving.
That's a good goal.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the mysteries of love.
It's been fun.
We'll see you next time.
Keep exploring, keep connecting, keep loving.